Hey guys, how's it going? Just thought I would share some things going on with you guys and ask for some prayer again. And first of all, I just want to say at my work, at my job, working late night shift, I see a lot of people who are substance abusers, whether it's alcohol or weed or a lot of times meth in my town. And a lot of times it's annoying. Sometimes, it can be, I guess, sometimes I feel like it's kind of wearing on me at times, but I think, there are a lot of good customers too. I've made a lot of friends and stuff, and, overall I enjoy it, but there's also police a lot, that are, most of the police I've talked to, pretty friendly people, but there's been one thing that's kind of been wearing on me lately, and there's this couple in particular, and, I don't know if I assume they do some kind of drugs, whether it's just marijuana or whatever, but anyway, this guy is a felon. He was in prison for marijuana and damage to property and stuff, and, not long ago, he's still on parole. But they've been staying in the apartments that I stay in, not like in my building, but the apartments owned by the same company. And basically, felons aren't allowed on the property. And this couple, they come into my work and kind of have attitudes with me. And so I've told the landlord about this. She was unaware, and I've told the police and everything. They all know. This girl's been sneaking them into the apartments. I mean, there's probably a lot of stuff like this going on in the apartments, but I see them all the time together, and I've heard people say that they've seen him come out of her apartment and everything. The woman that he's with has children, and she has had DCFS involved with her children before. I've heard that she's abusive to her children. I get a little bit disgusted when I see this couple, to be quite honest with you. And plus the fact that I know that he shouldn't even be there, this shouldn't even be going on. Every time I see them, even after I've talked to the landlord about it like weeks ago, and it seems like nothing's being done. And I know that the situation must be, they're going to have to, catch him on the property or something. And, they can't just take anybody's word for anything, but I'm sure that they're more suspicious now and aware of things, but it kind of wears on me just seeing it over and over again, and especially when they come into my place of work and kind of have little attitudes and stuff. And I've always talked about not hating other people, and to be followers of Christ, that we got to be forgiving and loving, and stuff like this kind of wears on me, and it's like, that's something that I could use some prayer for. I should be praying about the situation more myself. And it could be just things in my life building up on me, at certain times. There's changes in the weather. I've been working an extra day at work for a while. That's not really something I wanted to do, but I think that soon things are going to change, and I'm going to start working for UPS. I'll be working every day, but I'll be enjoying what I'm doing more, and I'll work a day less at my other job, and all of that. So I don't know. There's that. There is, obviously, I've been talking to this girl in prison, and she's kind of involved with this stuff too. And there's always, it's a roller coaster of crap with talking to her too. So then at work itself, I've always talked about a lot of changes at work, and recently we've lost our store manager. She just up and quit, and our kitchen manager put in her 2 weeks, or she's going down to a day a week or something. And so we're having like a big leadership change. And we've got someone new who's going to take over the store in like another month or so, but, and it's got to the point where I've been there for about 2 years, and there's only a small handful of people that were there when I started, and it's just crazy. and there's like new people that are training new people, and it's just like it's, it hasn't affected me a whole lot. So maybe it's kind of weird for me to complain about it or to even mention it, but um, I hope that I'll be able to keep the schedules and stuff that I want going forward. There's stuff like that kind of, I guess is in the back of my mind that I'm unsure of how things are going to go, but I'm sure it'll all settle out. I've already went through one of these changes, and I want to just stick through with this. So, but there's that craziness going on. So not only customers wearing me down at work, but there's also like the internal situation with the management and everything, and people leaving constantly and stuff. And my vehicle, the heater hasn't worked, so it's at the mechanic now. And the brakes have been a little screechy and stuff. I've never had brake pads replaced or anything, so I'm really curious about that. But having them look at the heater and everything, I don't know, how much that's all going to cost and everything. So there's going to be some financial stresses with that stuff. But it has to be done because I have to have that for sure. I want to keep working for UPS, and I want to be able to drive to work and everything, and drive other places to the stores and everything. But so there's that, and my mom just had a colonoscopy done the other day. I guess she's had problems pooping. I don't know what the deal is with that, but hopefully everything turns out alright with that. But yeah, I guess that we just all have our ups and down days. But one of the main things, I guess, that I wanted to ask for prayer requests for is, I don't know, just my heart towards these people. Usually, I've always tried to keep like a tender heart towards people, but I can definitely tell that my attitude's kind of changing. I'm kind of viewing people as scum, in a sense, as trash, as criminals that I see constantly. I know that, they're coming in high, tweaked out on meth. They're selling it. They're stealing and stuff. And I mean, that's, I was never into meth like that, but I had a rough history of doing stuff like that. I'm not perfect by any means. All the mistakes that I made, and it still makes mistakes that I still make, but, definitely not that level, but praise God for that. But, it's like sometimes I sympathize for people, but then sometimes it just kind of disgusts me, like constantly seeing this stuff. It upsets me. Especially when there's people, that don't want to change, that are just kind of grounded in that kind of lifestyle. And, they go to jail and they get out and they go right back to doing stuff, and they go to prison and they get out and they go right back to doing stuff. And it's like, man, it's, it's something that you can't understand, really. And I think, in a way we can dislike things that we can't, people that we can't understand, we can kind of tend to dislike. Even though I can somewhat understand it, because I've been there a little bit, but I don't know. And he's this guy that's in the apartments. He has a lot of tattoos. He has tattoos on his face. He's like the thuggish looking kind of guy who, when you see somebody like that, instantly, at least me, probably a lot of people's reaction when they see somebody like that, they're like, this isn't a good person. This, and it's judging about somebody by appearances, yes, but at the same time, it's like, that's kind of the statement that this kind of appearance gives off, is like, I'm a criminal. I've chosen to be a lifelong criminal, and, most people are not too fond of, you're going to be wary about somebody like that, And this guy apparently became a Muslim in prison, or whatever he thinks he did, or he became a Muslim to get special meals, whatever, I don't know. But he comes into work complaining that we do not have that all of our products are pork products in the warmer or something, which they're not either. But and then he claims like the store's racist, which Islam is a religion, it's not a race. But this guy is obviously uneducated and very, lived a pretty bad life probably. But instead of being grateful for his freedom, instead of being thankful for things, instead of politely asking for an alternative or something, he demands things, he has an attitude, he wants this gangster lifestyle, and, I get fed up with it. And so, I don't know if I would say that I do hate this person, but it's like, I want something to be done about the situation so much that sometimes I focus on it too much, and it just bothers me more and more. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter, and there's lots of regular customers that come and go, and, I don't even see them anymore. But, in the situation with the woman that he's with her kids, and how bad she is and everything, and, it's like, I don't know. Instead of trying to be a good parent and doing what's right, and, if these two really wanted to be together, instead of, like, trying to find a place where they could be together and be honest about everything and work everything out, it's like, no, we're gonna just do what we want and just get away with it. And, nobody's gonna say otherwise. And we're gonna have attitudes, and we're just gonna be bad people, and this is just, I don't care. It just makes me sick, guys. It really does. Like I said, I'm not perfect. People a lot of times think that I have an attitude. I'm very silent and reserved, and I don't always smile and stuff, and so people, think that I'm kind of... But, it bothers me to see people like this, to see people that are, bad mothers, bad fathers, people that are criminals, that are doing this lifestyle. And, it's like, again, like I said, it's kind of like people that choose this to bother me. There's young kids that are doing this stuff that bother me, but, I understand a little more. They're young in life, they're experimenting, whatever. That's kind of like what I was, where it's one of those things where, maybe how you were raised and you're kind of just going through a phase, but, people that are turning 21 and they just want to drink for the first time or whatever, it's a little bit more understandable than, somebody who's been in and out of prison for meth and stuff like that, and they're continuing to do this, or been out of prison at all, and they just continue to have this entitlement, this attitude. They're not grateful. They're liars. They're thieves. Just saying that, I guess, the Bible talked about how Jesus ate with people like that. And then the Pharisees are like, well, how could you do that? But, I think that Jesus was looking for people that wanted to change, too. And, these are not those kind of people. They're not in that point in their life, if they ever will be. Probably rarely. I want to thank that because I've changed, because I've gotten saved and matured and just changed for the better in a lot of ways that, other people can do that too, and a lot of other people have and will and can. But, there's a lot of instances too where that's not going to happen. I always want to think that it's like a possibility for everybody, but the chances are in reality that it's only going to happen with a very slim few, I guess. Man. But yeah, I think when UPS comes around, hopefully, I'll get this vehicle fixed and it won't be like a huge financial burden. And we'll be getting the new management. I'll be cutting back a day at this job, and I'll be starting to work for UPS every day, and that's kind of a good time for me for therapy. And it can be an added stress too, but I enjoy it. Generally, it's exercise. It's get to talk with the guy I work with, and we talk about everything. I'll be talking to him about all this stuff. We don't always agree on everything and see eye to eye everything, but it's gets it off my mind, I guess. And some of the people I'm working with at my job now, we don't really talk a lot. I don't know. We don't really, people always, and I'm always kind of quiet around new people, but it's just, I don't know. Some of the people in the past we get along with great, and we shared kind of the same views on these people coming in. But I don't know. Anyways, thanks guys. God bless.